Hey guys, hi, welcome back once again. My name is Vaishali, and today I'd like to relook into the concept of change your mindset and change your life. Now, this concept has been doing a global round for almost everybody across the board, and that is why I personally think that everybody should want to look into it in a more conscious way. And as motivating, as positive, and as mind liberating, mind freeing it may sound, it also has its own cost benefit analysis, I think, which we should all look into. And it personally drives my curiosity that if everybody across the board, across the globe, is having the same idea, then do our ideas define us? Or do we create our own ideas? Do we get defined by our own personal or interpersonal ideas, beliefs, notions, or do we define our own ideas? Do we create our own ideas? How is it that everybody almost seems to talk about it? It seems so easy to do, but it's such an arduous task. It is so very difficult to implement. So the concept says that change your mind or change your mindset and invariably change your life, which again wants me to redefine the mind itself. What is mind? Is it a tangible thing? The brain is a very tangible object which one can see, which one can feel, which one can hold, which is encapsulated within the human skull. But the mind is not tangible. It is thoughts, it is ideas, it is beliefs, it is notions. It is some of our subjective experiences that are not very tangible, that are very personal and yet very interpersonal, because being social species, we are constantly interacting with each other, with our environment, which is constantly influencing us as are we influencing it at the same time. And if we were to change our mindset, we would truly need to go to the grassroots level to be able to change the equation of ourselves with ourselves. We would have to re-equate our equation with our own selves, with our own personal reality. And if we are beginning to redefine our own relationship with our own selves, to our own selves, if we are beginning to equate to our own personal self in a different way, we invariably would equate with somebody else, with others in a different way as well. So let's take an example over here. I have this flour over here. Now I can transform this flour by kneading it into a dough and then transferring it or transforming its form into turning it into a bread. Now that bread can be an Indian bread, which is called as a chapati or a paratha or a puri or something else. It can be a Greek bread. It can be an Italian bread, or it can be the regular bread as well. But the way we transform its form even changes its equation with what we eat it with. So generally, most Indians, when they eat their regular bread, they eat it as their breakfast. But when they eat their Indian bread, they are eating it with something else. They are eating it as their main meal. So they are combining different elements. They are bringing in different elements to that transformed form of this particular flour. Now likewise, if we transform this flour into cookies or into biscuits, we would be eating it differently. We would be eating it with different elements. The consumption of it would change. So just like the flour, even though the essence of the flour remains the flour, but when it transforms its form, its equation to other elements changes. It's dynamic to relating to itself and to others changes, which also happens with us. Now that may mean that some of the relationships with regards to our transformation may evolve with us or may dissolve as well. Some may dissipate while others may recreate themselves anew, which invariably also means that it goes through a process of loss of the familiar, loss of the known, and therefore at times it is necessary to grieve that loss as well. Therefore, it is also necessary to acknowledge it for the purpose that it served us till the time it served us, and to free it if it's serving us no longer, which also means that freeing our own selves from the familiar, from the known that we used to be, so that we can become a better version of ourselves, or at least a more aware version of ourselves. Should we then not be a bit curious to inquire if it is so difficult to change our own personal mindset, which is set, how difficult it is to change the societal mindset, how difficult it is to change the community mindset, how difficult it is to change the global mindset. Talking about change on the superficial levels, I'm talking about change at the grassroots level. If it is so arduous to let go of the known, to let go of the familiar, imagine how difficult it is for the entire globe to shift in a snap. So should we then not consciously think about the price that we would need to pay in order to shift the mindset? Should we then not consciously rethink if it is the price that we are willing to pay both on the personal or the interpersonal, the collective level, or is it the price that we are not willing to pay to change our own mindset, which probably has been set and therefore stuck with us for a very, very, very long time? Are we consciously willing to take the accountability of the price we would need to take in order to shift and transform and change the mindset? Let's truly reflect on that a little more, and I will see you once again the next week. Till then, stay tuned in. And guys, if you do like the contents of my videos, please do like, share and subscribe.